How about them Cowboys, friends? Man, I got to go to work, man. I got this head cold and everything else. I got to go to work because they tell me don't quit your day job. But I just have to see the clown that is Stephen A. Smith. I've got to hear what they have to say about the Cowboys beating the Eagles. I know that they're going to go ahead and downplay it somehow. They're going to say, well, the Eagles were beat up. They're not the same Super Bowl team last year. The Cowboys still suck. You know that's coming. You know what? I tell you one thing. What really bothers me in that game is the Eagles weren't called for a single penalty in that game. Come on now. You saw on that play where Carson Wentz somehow got the ball out. You saw the man's hand around the guy's neck and everything else. They showed it not one, not two, but 3 different times, 3 different angles. Yet nobody said a word about that holding. But be that as it may, the Cowboys found a way to get a win. Let's see what the haters have to say this morning.
Into True Heroes, we appreciate you. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Molly Karam. How we feeling, fellas?
I'm good. Let's get it on.
One or two things happened over the weekend.
Yeah, one.
I'd say 1 or 2.
Let's do it.
Football, a little basketball.
Some people might be eating crow today. Sunday Night Football is where we start. How about them Cowboys? Dallas wins on the road for the first time this season, defeating the Eagles for the 6th time in
Wait
the
for it,
last
guys.
7 meetings. Dak was pleased after the game.
This team is full of character. The men we have in this locker room, we came back Wednesday after that loss, and we just got back at it. We said we're going to lock arms, we're going to be as tough as we ever been, and we're going to lock in and do this together. And that's what we did.
You feel like you saved Jason Garrett's job tonight?
I don't know if his job was even on the line, but as I said, we're just a close team. We're going to play for our head coach, and we're going to play for each other.
There you go.
Tonight just exemplified that.
Sal, with the
All
great
right,
question there.
let's hear the
Stephen
hater.
A.,
Yes.
is there hope for the Cowboys?
Not for me. Not for me. Jason Garrett's still a coach. I don't give a damn what anybody says. First of all, I don't know how anybody else chooses to look at it. Let me tell you how I choose to look at it. I saw the Dallas Cowboys show up at Lincoln Financial Field. Now, the Eagles had their share of injuries, and we understand that. But at the end of the day, give the Dallas Cowboys credit. Dak Prescott played well. Ezekiel Elliott was sensational. You had some of their receivers show up and do the kind of things that they were capable of doing, and they withstood an onslaught from Carson Wentz in concert with Zach Ertz, who had about 14 receptions for about 150 yards or so. But here's the reality of the situation. I walked away from this game. You know what my thoughts were? That's 14 receptions for 145 yards by Zach Ertz, by the way.
Yep.
But here's what I walked away from.
Oh, here we go.
That's exactly why Jason Garrett should be going.
True.
That's exactly why Scott Linehan should be going.
True.
What the hell took you so long? What the hell took you so long? Look at Ezekiel Elliott and what he did last night. You trying to tell me this is the first time he could have done that this year? This was against the second-ranked run defense in the National Football League. 19 carries for 151 yards. You targeted him 7 times
with hurt offensive line.
To pass catch. He caught 6 of those passes. All I walked away thinking was,
why didn't we do that?
Been? Ezekiel Elliott should have been an integral part of this offense. He should
Hasn't been the last 3 games.
More. He should have been a focal point far much longer than it took them to make him a focal point like they did yesterday. He did his pre-game speech. You saw him in the huddle, rallying the troops around him, getting
you got a point there,
getting them ready to go and what have you. And I saw that last night, and I'm saying this is what they should have been doing. So thank God they finally did it. I don't have much faith that they'll see the right things. The Dallas Cowboys, as far as I'm concerned, are allergic to prosperity. The second things go right, then you know it's inevitable that eventually things will go wrong. This is what they did last night. Wasn't their night. It wasn't the night for that to happen. They had a good night. Congratulations. Do I have any faith whatsoever that this will continue with the coaches that they have in place?
You look up hater, you'll see Stephen A.
Of course, the Cowboys have hope. I even said they might win this game, before the win. Do they have a chance to win the game? Sure, they have a chance to win the game. Because as is the case most seasons, we start out saying, boy, the NFC East is going to be tough.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the season,
boy, the NFC East
really isn't good. None of these teams can score with the top teams in football. None of them, including Washington, who's leading the division. Stephen A., you believe in Washington?
No.
I'm not sure.
I don't believe in Washington. They're okay. They're just a team.
I will say this. Let me answer that question more directly. I'm sorry. Anybody in the NFC East at this time of year that's on top of it, on the top of the division or near the top, I've got some belief in by virtue of default. It's the division.
That's the point.
It's a division.
It's a default.
It's who they are.
That's what. It's a default division, except for the Giants. It's a default division. The Eagles are Super Bowl hungover. We're going to get to them in a second. Let me tell you what Dallas did yesterday, which you say, well, this is why it's no good. Why wait till now? They fed Zeke. So you know you had 3rd and 2 all night long. That's what you had. They can run the ball. They have an offensive line, and by the way, they have a pretty good defense. They're a kind of
really good
middle of the pack 8-8ish team. If they get a little lucky, they can win 9 games, which may be enough in this division. That's all the Cowboys are.
Okay.
They're nothing special, but there is no one else in the division that makes you go, whoa, you got to watch those guys right now. So, yeah.
All right, so we got our morning haterade, and I got to go ahead and get to work, man. I'm going to see you guys later on, of course, on the job site. We'll be talking football because, as E2 says, well, you're lucky. You get to do videos and things while you're at work and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll see you guys later. I think I need my cell phone.